have a question. Paige mentioned that the legislators had already made up their mind before hearing testimony. Do any of you see in Tallahassee any impacts on or changes in citizen advocacy or consumer rights going on?
Are you referring to property insurance specifically, or
specifically property insurance, or really across the board? I mean, we see a lot of activism really across the world, right. And I'm wondering, you know, what kind of levers there are up in Tallahassee where citizens can have a voice.
Right. Not much yet. I think it will come pretty quickly when the bills start arriving in the mailboxes, because I saw this unfold in 2007 when we had the last round of dramatic double-digit rate hikes, and it spawned a grassroots revolt across Florida that caught politicians by surprise and cost a lot of people, incumbents, their offices, not just in the legislature, but I think you even saw it in county level elections when people in the audience would stand up and say, what are you going to do about my property insurance bill, and then my property tax bill, and then they'd throw in the price of gas to boot. I mean, because there's a anger among the citizenry right now about the economic hardship, and they're looking for a focus of where to put that. They had 3 separate hearings before the Senate Insurance Committee on this bill, and each time ran out of time to hear all of the people who came to testify. So even though the lawmakers had made up their mind on the bill and announced that, you know, the votes were already essentially cast, people were driving from Key West to Tallahassee and then leaving unheard and increasingly angry. And I think that anger will continue to boil, and in the next 3 months you may see more activism. Well,
and I just want to add, I think the drama, you know, that all these cuts and the tension that's being created, I think we saw it a little bit on Senate Bill 6 last year, where you saw it just energized. You know, look, the teachers unions and teachers groups have always been, you know, pretty good at lobbying Tallahassee, but you know what you saw with Senate Bill 6 was a new group of people showing up in Tallahassee and using new avenues to get to these legislators. And you know, the stories of watching legislators on the House floor as they're reading Facebook to see what the teachers were saying about them immediately after they delivered their speeches. It was really an amazing kind of development. And I think because of all the different tools that are available, I think a lot of facets or a lot of groups that were just kind of doing the routine to go up to Tallahassee, I think they now have a new sense of purpose on all facets. You know, everything that we've heard here, I think you have a little bit more energy out there.
Yeah, and I'd say one citizens group that's going to have a big influence in this session is the Tea Party movement. And they're very sensitive to that, and there's going to be a big rally, I think, in the first week of the session, and obviously Scott feels that's part of his constituency, so he's relying on that for some of his grassroots and putting pressure on lawmakers, particularly Republicans.
Yeah, that's a good point.